Okay, so I'm over by the main park office here, and I'm going to walk down the trail over by Lake Defiance, and I'm going to do so while giving you guys the 2022-23 Chicago Bears season outlook slash preview. Why would I do that? Well, because I'm bored and I work as a sports reporter part-time, and boy, what a wonderful career that's been. I'm truly blessed to be able to get paid to write about sports. I still do to this day. In fact, football season's starting here soon. Anyhow, here is the Moraine Hills State Park office. There's some neat photography, some things in there. It says it's open when staff and volunteers are available, so as you can see, it's pretty short-staffed in here. There's Lake Defiance. There's a boat launch off to the left, and it's weird. You actually go to McHenry Dam across the street to get oars during the weekday, or maybe it's weekday, weekend, I don't know. And you have to drive the oars over here for the boats they have set up over here, about a mile and a half away. Kind of strange, I know, but again, with them being short-staffed, that's kind of how it goes. So we're gonna go down this wooden walkway here. They also have like soda vending machines over there. And this is the last place I saw a snake in the wild in the state of Illinois, which is kind of cool, but never see them anymore. It's almost like they don't exist. I don't know what we're doing to our environment or ecosystem sometimes. Anyway, Chicago Bears, that's what you guys wanted to hear about. Well, the Chicago Bears this season, they've got Justin Fields. Expectations are real high on him. David Montgomery, he's a good running back. See, somebody's walking behind me here, so the thing that I don't like about this Bears team is, again, they have no star players on offense, and that really bothers me. It's something that's bothered me about the Chicago Bears franchise and organization for a long time. I think the last receiver that, you know, everybody talks about, Allen Robinson, he was more of a he was a good receiver, don't get me wrong, all pro caliber, but he was more of a chain-to-chain possession receiver, not somebody who was going to bust out big plays downfield or stretch the field with 4.3 speed. And again, they have Darnell Mooney, who's probably going to be their top receiver this season. I know they drafted a guy that's supposed to be pretty good, but again, I don't know, man. The offensive line is kind of a combination of a couple guys that are pretty solid linemen on the offensive line, and then you have kind of a couple of patchwork veteran guys that are older. There's always injuries on the line all year long. I just don't see how the Chicago Bears can look at their offense, even with a new head coach. You know, they say, oh, well, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that different. Well, show me. Every year it's the same thing. And you can complain and whine about the play calling all you want, but the Chicago Bears just, sometimes it's just a lack of talent. Sometimes it's not the play calling. Sometimes you just need elite players to be good in the NFL, especially in an era when the rules favor offenses. And even in an era when we can't develop a quarterback to save our lives, we never want to get more than one decent receiver on our team. We never want to prioritize the offensive line. Now, obviously, you know, on defense, you have Roquan Smith anchoring the defense. Look at all these lily pads out here, by the way, as I talk about the Bears. Just beautiful out here. But last season, the Bears didn't re-sign their number one cornerback. So Kyle Fuller, he's gone. From, you know, that hurt them more than they realize. A couple of years ago, like when Matt Nagy was in his first year, I think they had a couple of safeties that were really good safeties. I know Amos was their second safety. I'll tell you, man, like they don't seem to prioritize that position either. And I think defensively, safety is probably the most important position in football, because that's your backup safety valve. That's why it's called safety. Somebody gets beat on a play, a receiver gets behind somebody. If you don't have safeties who know what they're doing, you're going to get lit up, just absolutely lit up at the NFL level. And I see it all the time when I cover games. All it takes is a safety with poor awareness out there on the football field, and that's 7 points hung on you just like that in a heartbeat. So, you know, while they have some guys on the defensive line that can get to the passer, Khalil Mack is gone. We traded him, which is probably a good thing, because he was getting at the end of his days. I mean, he's still an elite pass rusher, but for the amount of money he was making, that money, again, it should probably be spent on the offense. So the Bears have some interesting players. Then I'm not going to get into all of them here. Like I said, that they drafted some interesting players that are returning that seem to have a lot of potential. But again, even with a weak schedule, that Las Vegas doesn't think they're going to do much either. The over-under on their wins is 6.5 right now at Caesars Sportsbook. That's in a 17-game season. So, you know, do I think they're going to go 6-11, lose 11 games? I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'm kind of torn. I think they could just have an absolutely atrocious season. I really do, because I still am not convinced Fields is all that. I see him make a lot of bad decisions, even in practice and training camp so far. I know he rolls out, he runs the ball, but I mean, every single quarterback that's a mobile quarterback in this league, they just take a beating, and after a few seasons of that, it seems like they're never the same. You need somebody who can stand in the pocket. I mean, you want to be a little bit mobile, obviously. Even Aaron Rodgers was a little bit mobile, but they can stand in the pocket and just find that open guy. And until the Bears do that, and until they get elite offensive receivers, or somebody elite that's a Pro Bowl caliber receiver to go with Mooney, you know, you're not contending without multiple really good receivers. I mean, look at the Chiefs, you know, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill at the time. I mean, I could just name one after the other, Montana to Taylor and Rice over the years. And the vast majority of contending teams that are serious about playoffs, Super Bowl, they have multiple guys who can catch the football. So I'm interested to see how the Packers react this year to losing Randall Cobb. Aaron Rodgers is just so good, though, that my guess is the Packers end up winning this division. I don't know. If I have to pick, guys, I'm picking the Bears, even with a weak schedule, to go 7-10, maybe, if they're lucky, 8-9 this year. There's going to be more enthusiasm, which is a factor in any head coach's first season. But beyond that, boy, I just don't see the roster they have pulling out this season with a winning record. If I'm wrong, hats off to them for proving me wrong, but in my field, I'm kind of a black sheep, because I'm a realist. I don't just say, oh, they're going to be good just to say they're good for the hometown team. I kind of speak my mind and speak like it is. Anyway, I've turned this entire little tour of a small part of Moraine Hills and Lake Defiance over here into a discussion about the Chicago Bears, just to kind of mix it up.